Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Tevis-Finn recording from Franklin. Welcome to Hawaii. This is a land of paradise and of tragedy. So I'm going to get you guys into a little background of trade in the Pacific. So all the way back into 1878, we start using Pago Pago, which is in the Samoan Islands, as a coaling and repair station for the U.S. Navy. Today it is a territory of the United States. It's a place where they do a lot of tuna fishing, and also tourism is one of their main industries. So you might want to figure out where Pago Pago is. In the Pacific, guys, it's kind of between Hawaii and Japan and Australia. And so on to Hawaii. The history between our country and Hawaii started with whaling. So whaling ships, they stopped in Hawaii. Here's a picture of actually them on their way to Maui. They stopped there also to rest and to refuel. And so I included a picture of one of the whaling ships. And so in this age of new imperialism, which we talked about last week, remember guys, trade and industry are increasing worldwide, and we want to keep up with Europe and especially Japan in this area of the world. So we're going to be going after ports to refuel and resupply while crossing the Great Pacific Ocean. So on your guided notes, guys, please fill out for new imperialism the increase of trade and industry worldwide, and that we're trying to compete with Europe and Japan. Remember, one of the factors of the growth of imperialism was humanitarian, most notably Anglo-Saxonism. So pictured here, guys, in 1819 are the first missionaries, and they come from New England. They're mostly Puritans, and they arrive to convert the Hawaiians to Christianity. One of the good things that they do is they turn the spoken Hawaiian language into written form by creating an alphabet. And so by the mid-1800s, the settlers of the missionaries established sugarcane plantations. These families become very wealthy, dominating the local population. So they use the native population to harvest sugarcane. Shown here, it's back-breaking work. And I want you guys to fill out the three things that result from the missionary movement. Displacement. So the settlers take land away from the natives, usually through treaties that the natives don't understand, and they end up losing their land. Disease. Settlers bring cholera, measles, that decimates the population. And lastly, disenfranchisement. The settlers deny these people, the natives, the right to vote. What occurs next is a severe economic recession. So in 1872, we try as the stronger economy to get there first to help. We want to get there, you guys can put down, before Japan. And so we sign a treaty. I want you guys to spell it out here. It's reciprocity. It's 1875. And so what does that mean? That means each side gets something. So Hawaii becomes exempt from paying the sugar tariff, and the U.S. Gets rights to Pearl Harbor as a naval base. This next slide just shows you guys that they had a strong monarchy. King Kamehameha had united the Hawaiian Islands in 1795, and his descendants tried to limit foreign influence and hold on to their independence. And so when the sugar treaty comes up for renewal, please fill in that the Senate insists that the U.S. get exclusive rights to use it as a base. They're really trying to make sure Japan does not get there first. There is a huge sugar boom. It makes the planters very powerful and wealthy. Remember, they can sell their sugar to the U.S. without paying the tariff. And so because of the planters' power, they pressure the king to sign what's known as the Bayonet Constitution here. It's forced, so they're under gunpoint, and it severely limits his authority. Here is the picture of King Kalakaua, who was forced to sign the Bayonet Constitution, pretty much making him a puppet, taking away his power. Alright, so let's continue. Tensions begin to increase with Congress, passing the new tariff in 1890. So this tariff gave tax breaks or subsidies to the sugar beet farmers in the U.S. This is a problem, for it made Hawaiian sugar more expensive. So planters began to push for annexing Hawaii to the U.S. in order to increase their sales. After King Kalakaua dies in 1891, Queen Liliuokalani inherits the throne. She tries to restore her country's monarchy and limit the power of foreign merchants. She is highly educated, a very talented musician. She visits the courts of the monarchs in England, and she's very troubled, deeply upset by her people's suffering. Remember the 3 Ds. Please list them here again so you remember them: disease, displacement, and disenfranchisement. Here she is pictured again. So by 1893, she tries to draft a new constitution. She tries to reassert herself as legitimate ruler of Hawaii. However, there is a plot to overthrow her. It's supported by the U.S. Marines and a big warship known as the USS Boston. It's led by a wealthy planter, pictured here, Sanford Dole. And they force her to step down. They pretty much arrest her in her own palace, and they set up a provisional government. Sanford Dole here is shown being sworn in as provisional governor of Hawaii. A very proud woman. Here she is, seen forced off her throne, still very troubled by what her people are enduring. And so the issue of annexation. President Cleveland at the time tries to help Queen Liliuokalani. He is against the issue of annexation. He thinks we should let Hawaii have its independence. But many in the U.S. want Hawaii before Japan gets their hands on it. The treaty goes back and forth in the Senate for about 5 years until a new president here, McKinley, supports it, and the treaty finally passes. Hawaii finally becomes part of the United States. The issue of Hawaiian independence, I'd like you guys to jot down. Are you for or against Hawaiian independence? Why or why not? And last thing I want you guys to do is look at this political cartoon. What kind of wedding is this? President McKinley is here, pictured on the right. The priest is reading a book known as the Book of Annexation. And so lastly, guys, on that guided note, just analyze the political cartoon and tell me the point of view. Who do you think did this cartoon? This is Mrs. Tevis-Finn signing off. See you guys tomorrow.